right, so I'm gonna do a September update. Um, a lot of work going on cleaning out the lanai, things a bit more organized. It was getting out of control, um, due in part to hurricane last year, and you know dealing with an infant and all that. Um, but yeah, now I just have more room for plants. That's the conclusion I've come to. So, we can continue having a problem, but anyways, I'll just go through kind of some of the stuff. A lot of the seedlings that I've been growing have been just kicking off, honestly. Like these Donna Marias have been coming through. A lot of the seeds from the Vilela collection have been coming out pretty strong. We've been fighting some worms for new growth here, but overall, I think we're coming out ahead. We've got a couple of grafted trees that are looking really nice as well. This is the Coronata 2 that I got from John Travis on eBay. It's a very strong looking graft here. No, it looks like it kind of must have been had a little bit of dieback at some point, but it doesn't matter. It's healing over on that. I think it came that way to me. I'm not worried about it. It looks good. Look at all this healthy growth coming up top. It'll envelop that and heal over later. Yeah, the Patongatuba is doing good. I've been having to fight suckers from the Patongatuba rootstock, but it's very nice and green and lush and whatnot. What we got going on over here? This is a Eugenia itaguahiensis, the dwarf Grimichama, and then just a bunch of different Jabos. What is this one here? Actually, this isn't a Jabo. This is the Eugenia SP Pitanga Hestinga that I've been trying to grow. I think I got these seeds like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's the only one that popped up. And it took over a year for it to pop up, and it's finally starting to really take off. And still, of course, battling worms on these things. But I'm excited to see how this plant starts looking. And I noticed a lot of my plants, I think this is mostly like sunburn, but I went through and literally hit every single pot with like a pinch or 2 pinches of polytone. They all, I think, kind of needed it. Some of the stuff was looking a little chlorotic. Like this one here, this is that Sanford seedling. I bought seeds from Adam November of last year, and you can see it like, this is the one that I think is a hybrid, and he suggested it might be a hybrid between a Scarlet. I can kind of see it a little bit there if you look at that. But it's obviously got some kind of deficiency. So I want to say it's probably a pH thing. Might need a little bit of nitrogen. So hit it with some fertilizer, and it's coming through. And here's another Sanford for reference. Same batch of seeds. So you can clearly see a difference there. And here's my this is the Plinia, not the Mulchi, not the Kambuka. What's the other one? God, I can't think of it at the moment. Do I have a... Yeah, I have the tag, thankfully. Sometimes, yeah, Plinia Clausa died back on me a little bit earlier in the year, and it's come back from below. Like, I don't think this branch here is necessarily dead, but like it did die back on the main shoot it had. But it's having some issues with like aphids and some other things. Like, it's not, I don't know if it's just circumstantial or if they're just not as strong as Kambuka. Although I did have one of my Kambukas die, and it was like a pretty big plant, so I don't know, I guess they can be a little finicky. Maybe the soil mix I used at the time was not quite right or something. But here's another, what is it? I think this is a Broncamel, but it looks so different from my other Broncamels. It kind of looks like a Phitrantha, honestly. Yeah, I have it labeled as a Broncamel. This is the one that I thought was the big leaf red, but it's just kind of totally different than the other ones. Like, it looks a lot more like the Sanford than the other Broncamels do, but maybe this one's just healthier than the others. It's also just kind of like growing straight up, which is different. The other ones were kind of bushy. Like, wait, let me go find one. Like, Let's see. I just watered everything out here too. It hasn't rained in like a week. Um, yeah, here's one of the other broncomels right here, and I guess like you can kind of see it's similar, but yeah, this one definitely needed some fertilizer. It looks like, yeah, who knows? Maybe it's just a healthier looking tree, and these other ones aren't doing too hot. But the other one out there is doing really good. We'll take a look at that too. But yeah, just let's go through the row here. Actually, we'll start over here. We've got the grafted Paulista. It's doing fantastic, especially a whole lot of new growth. The Campo Ramon's looking really good. What is that? That's like a 5-gallon pot, I think, roughly. This is the Broncovino. It's going crazy. Look how long this branch is. It's like this branch is as long as it is tall. It's just kind of going down. I might prune that, but I kind of like it. It's weird. Got my anomaly down here pushing out a lot of new growth. Like it's kind of cooling off a little bit, and like I would say like before June and like mid to end September, like the Jabos really start popping off with like fruiting and new growth and all that. So they're kind of in the process of that. Let's look at the got a bunch of gin berries over here. I've got some mango grafts going on. A couple of what was it? That's a failed mango graft there, but I just used a piece of wood that I chopped off that I would try. Didn't have high hopes for it, and not doing too hot. There's another anthropophaga that I need to pot it up, but I just kind of gave it a little bit of fertilizer for now. Got some lemon guavas in here, lemon catleys. A bunch of my lukes have all popped up. I know someone was asking me before if all of them had popped up, but no, not all of them. Like you can see, like more than half have. I would say this one's just now starting to pop out. I think I kind of see one starting to poke out of there, but no sign of this one. No sign of that one. This one actually just popped out. You can kind of see today. So I'm not worried about it. Like I have had Garcinias take over 6 months to pop out. But got some Carolina Reapers right here. But yeah, all of these are I'm doing well. There's a lot of Villela collection Jabas in here, like Riviera de Cascais. There's some Pingo de Mels in there. I've got some of the cold hardy Corrientes Jabos in there as well. There's a dwarf mulchy right there, and I've got a couple of other ones that are the seed is still alive, and there's like good healthy looking roots, and I kind of repotted them with fresh soil to see if that helps. I know someone on the forum was asking if I would sell it to them. I'm not really comfortable doing that because like I don't know if they're gonna live, and like I feel like sending them through the mail might actually just like end them. Like they're just very delicate right now. This one's finally got a little foothold. Like it's looking pretty good. There's a bunch of new growth coming out on it. I was thinking about hitting it with fertilizer, but I might just hold off on that because I don't want to like alter whatever's going on in there. Like it seems to be okay right now. I got some Grumichama seedlings in there from my one out front. Got some lemon drop mangosteens. There's a whole bunch of Jabos in here. I need to go through and just like line them all up. There's a bunch of scarlets. There's a bunch of reds down there. I've got like a whole collection of reds over there from my mother tree. These are Eugenia Raponda Blacks, and they just look fantastic right now. Like they're beautiful. So I'm excited to see those things flower. And I saw the post on the Eugenia, was it Merceria Madness and Eugenia Mania? Or was it Eugenia Mania and Merceria Madness thread on the forum? And like someone has a Raponda that's just like loaded with flowers, and I can't wait to see that in person. It probably smells amazing too. What else have we got in here? Here's my Eugenia Burkhartiana that I have in a pot, and it is killing it. Like it looks so healthy. I just potted it up recently. Looks like it's about to push some new growth out. They're about a year and a half. I'd have to go back and check to see when I got the seeds. I got one in the ground that's not quite as big, but they always get stunted when you put them in the ground, like compared to the ones in the pots. There's more access to nutrients in the pots, so they grow quicker, and they work on the roots more on the ground. There's a red crystal, giant red crystal Vitrantha. Yeah, this one's a really cool looking one. I'm excited to see the fruits on that thing. Apparently I just stepped on a fig. The ants have been farming mealybugs on them, so I haven't been able to eat them. Same with the my red Java right now. You can wash the fruit off if you get mealybugs, but I've got like an aphid issue and a mealybug issue right now, so you can kind of see the black sooty mold on the bark, but it doesn't really affect the tree in a negative way so much, because the bark will peel off and you won't even see it anymore. But it does. They do get on the fruit, so you can kind of see like the little white floofs. I hit it with the hose to try and spray them off, but honestly, just wash the fruit off and don't eat the skin if you're worried about it. But I keep trying to hit it with the hose just to make it harder for the aphids and mealybugs to get a foothold. But the ants bring them back, and I'm not about to put poison. The ants they do good things and bad things, so I'll just accept it for what they are. But yeah, the red is just totally loaded right now. Like, this is the time of year in Central Florida for Javos. They're going to be the biggest, tastiest, like largest harvest as well. Let's see. Here's my Gigante Trunciflora. That is, it kind of dropped all of its leaves. I don't know if it dropped its leaves on purpose or if I just missed watering it at one point and it died back. I think there's a lot of dead branches in there. I gotta go in there and double check, but I mean, maybe, this one might be dead. Yeah, there's a couple dead branches in there. I need to go in there and clean it up. We'll do a better job staying on top of it, but I think the previous pot that it was in, it had filled it up pretty hard, and it was mostly roots. I think that's how it dried out, but it's still alive. It looks pretty good. You can't ask for a better looking leaf. That's just awesome. We got Grimmel Sabra Hybrid. This is my Rosa de Pescos. Here's some aphids all over it. We'll hit that with a hose later to knock them off. Coronata Hestinga, it's about 3-4 feet tall now. I'd say 3.5 feet outside of the pot. But look at the bark. Just a beautiful looking bark on this thing. You can tell it's a Hestinga. I know I met someone at the Manatee County rare fruit sale, and they were selling something they were calling a Coronata Hestinga, and it did not look anything like this. But you can kind of tell that it's a Hestinga. I actually suggested I don't sell it. You might want to keep that one because it doesn't look like a Hestinga. But you can tell that they look like a Hestinga because they kind of have these like wavy leaves, and they're like shorter, and to me they look like little arrowheads. Like, they're pretty distinct. Like if you stare at Javos all the time, like look at this one, for example. This is a red hybrid here. And you see how they're more like teardrop shaped. These are more of a arrowhead shape, and they kind of come in like this, like they're just like wavy. They look kind of like a Guaibiju a little bit as well. The new growth is kind of pearlescent, like it's kind of got like a fade on it a little bit like that. So that's kind of how I can tell Hestinga. I would say they're probably one of the most distinct Javos, at least in the U.S. compared to other U.S. Javos. Let's see. There are just a couple of Eugenias, some of what we've already looked at. Here's the Sweet Uvia. I had to hit these with some fertilizer. They look like they needed it. They're looking a little chlorotic, so we piled up the holly tone on them. I've got some blackberry jam fruit here, and they've been living, but they just look so chlorotic. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it's because they need a lot of nitrogen. Like, this one kind of came out of it for a bit and then went back into it. I don't know if it's like too wet or what. It's definitely missing something. If anyone knows, let me know. Like, I really don't know how to take care of these. They're okay. Like, they're doing fine. The leaves just don't look great. So I mean, it's probably kind of like the miracle fruit. Like, they just kind of don't look very good most of the time, but they just continue to exist. I don't know how they. I don't know. I've never seen like a miracle fruit honestly look as good as this one I have here, and it didn't always look this good. I'm not sure what I did differently. Actually, there's a bunch of fruits on it finally. I moved it into more shade, and it seems to be holding on to it more. Look at the mealy bugs. Damn it! So that's a pain in the butt. Here's the squat Garcinia. I posted on Instagram a picture of it a few days ago. So Adam, if you see this video, like, it's doing really well. Like, the other grafted trees I bought from Adam. Like, here's one of the lukes. This is the only set of leaves that it pushed out since I've had it, and it's been like trying to sucker up at the bottom. I have the other one that's out in the ground. It hasn't been suckering at all, but it's only pushed out one set of leaves. It did get damaged in the hurricane last year too, so I mean, this is probably just like Luke's Garcinia being a slow plant. But we got some madrunos here. These are just beautiful looking. Like, you can tell these are going to be big trees. Yeah, so this is my new little row. And these are all a bunch of reds. You can see how chlorotic they've gotten. Hit every single one of them with at least 1 or 2 pinches of bigger pots got 2 or 3. The little small 4-inch pots got 1 pinch. Should be more than enough. When you get so many of these plants, they're hard to take care of individually. So they start to fall behind. But like, if I were to actually, pot some of these up with proper fertilizer, actually after this fertilizer, they'll all come back and look nice, especially this time of the year. And they're getting, shaded in the afternoon by these taller plants. Another thing is I potted up like the Mircea vexator and my Eugenia, this is the Patomba, the Lushnathiana, and they put out a whole bunch of green growth. Like, look how lush the Patomba looks. Like, it's so good looking. It's peeling its bark. It didn't flower for me this year. The Suriname cherry outside didn't flower either, but the vexator flowered heavily and didn't produce any fruit. There's a couple on there that might set, but so I posted on the forums, like, same with my strigipes here. Like, it's got a bunch of new growth. It'll probably flower after this new growth. It flowered heavily last year, and did not set a single fruit. So apparently it takes a couple of years. But let's go outside, and here's my other broncomel that's in the ground. And actually, this is looking more like the one in the pot. I probably need to hit it with a little bit of fertilizer, maybe. Probably not. It's probably fine. The new growth looks pretty good. I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, so that's doing pretty good. We got some lulos growing on the lulo, but look at the mealy bugs on them. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, they're like dusted. It looks like it snowed. So they're covered up on it. But I think the little hairs will keep them away from the fruit, and then we'll actually get to try that as long as we don't have like a hurricane or a freeze that comes through before they ripen up. But first I was kind of like against these plants because they're so spiky. But like, if you have a couple in the landscape, they're actually really pretty. Like, they look like prehistoric. So I'll probably keep them around for a while and keep propagating them, just to have them in like, interesting little things. And if the fruit tastes good too, then that's all right. Posted on Instagram. I had the scarlet out here because it was like covered in aphids, like really bad. And when you bring it out into nature takes care of it, and it's completely clean of any pests right now. Like, the reason the trees in there get covered in aphids and mealybugs, and it's because there's no predator insects. They can't really get in, or at least in big enough number to take care of the problem. So occasionally, if it gets bad enough, I bring them out here, and it figures itself out. So let's see, going around. Here's my seedling Sanford that I put straight into the ground. It's not as big as the ones in the pots, but it's pretty well established at this point. It's been in mostly like pretty much full sun. I'd say it's the strongest jabo that I planted in the ground, other than like the red and the sabra are pretty strong. But this is the only one that didn't get sunburn when I first put it in. Like, it had a couple of burns on the leaves, but it took to the brightness pretty quickly. let's see. Yeah, this red is going crazy. I think it's been in the ground over a year now. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. Baby drama. Um, but anyways, I was looking at the red here, and yeah, it looks fantastic. Like it's just, I mean, look at this thing. Looks great. I hit it with a little bit of holly tone here and there, but like literally just like like a dusting of it. The Cambuca's doing really well. I posted a video on Instagram before all this new growth flushed out, and now you can see what it kind of looks like with the new growth. And like, here's my knee, right? Let's see how tall it is. So here's my knee. It's like coming up to here, so it's right about, to my hip. So that's about 3.5, 4 feet coming up on it. Actually, I don't know how tall I am down to my waist. It's at least 3 feet tall. Not super tall, but yeah, it's in full sun. Like you can see it gets a little burnt. Like I'd say early in the year after it comes out of winter, like the growth that comes out probably like right now, like it's not going to be as hardy as like the summer growth. But like it pushes through it. I think once it gets to become a bigger tree and it's more established, like it'll burn less. So I think this is definitely one, like I would say when they're about ready to bust out of a 1 gallon, it's probably worth putting them into the ground, even if it's in full sun. If they start to look burnt, just put a shade cloth around them until like the next bit of new growth comes out, and then step them up, from the shade cloth slowly after that. But I just went cold turkey on this thing, and it pulled through. Let's see, the lemon drop mangosteen has a lot of fruit on it. I think, what are we looking at, like for a first crop, it's looking like 1, 2, is that 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 2 more down there somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, 7, 8. There they are. I'm sure there's more in here that I can't even see yet. Oh yeah, 9. Actually, this is just a flower. It's a fresh flower. So it's been like staggering its blooms coming out. I'm just looking for more. So it looks like this thing's gonna make a lot of fruit once they get like really well established. I know I've seen a couple of people on YouTube you could probably fill buckets up with just one tree. But yeah, moving over here, starfruit's starting to set some fruit. But I've got my Inga spectabilis down here, and I'm hoping it'll like start shooting out through the starfruit and become kind of the shade tree over here. But yeah, here's the little starfruit blooms. They're kind of trying to focus on them. Come on. Let me put my hand in front of it. That usually helps. Maybe. Not sure. There we go. Haha. Those are little starfruit blooms. There's a couple of fruits over there. This one has not made a good tasting starfruit yet. I'm just guessing it's because it's been pretty stressed out for the first couple of years fruiting. It's been looking pretty dang good this year. So I'm hoping that it's going to make some tastier starfruit. Yeah, let's see. Worst case scenario, if it never makes a good starfruit, like once this Inga spectabilis has grown up, I'll just cut the thing back and graft like a better variety onto it. I think it's just a seedling tree. I don't think it's definitely not grafted. This mulberry here, I think I need to hit it with some fertilizer. The soil here kind of sucks. I've planted it closer to this firebush, hoping that this will kind of like hold in some of the nutrients a little better. Because I had a mulberry, what was it, like up there closer to the starfruit, and it just pittered off. A lot of stuff I put in there died until recently. Once this native stuff took over, they're like these plants that make little flowers. I'm not sure what they're called, but it's like sandpaper. the leaves feel like they make these little white flowers, and they have like little red berries on them. I think they're toxic to people. Yeah, here's the flowers. Let's see. Ooh. Not sure what they're called, but the birds like them. And I've just been chopping and dropping it, and it seemed to have like improved the soil health over here. Just kind of staying off of it and, you know, letting the weeds take over. I keep it contained to that spot. I think it's helping to hold the nutrients in a little better, get those fungal networks going so it's not getting scorched by the sun. And it's just overall improving the health of everything. Like this ice cream bean was pretty slow to take off. It was struggling for a while. And now it's one of the bigger ones I have. Like I have another one back here that's in a pretty poor spot. It doesn't look very good. That looks pretty chlorotic for a ice cream bean. Like it's kind of got a weird texture to it. It doesn't have the normal sheen. This new growth looks kind of weird, but the nutrients over here really aren't that great. We have this monstera too that isn't doing too hot, but I'm hoping that by planting, you know, more variety of things in here, like things start to kind of kick off a little better. Like I've got this pomelo seedling that got eaten by some kind of, probably the swallowtail that eats citrus. Looked like a twig for a while, now it's growing back. So, you know, it's what it is. Tried growing some veggies over here too, but I think there's like the access to the nitrogen here is just not good. Yeah, I got like 1 yard long bean. Was it 2? Maybe if that one grows. Yeah, they're not looking too hot. Maybe I planted it the wrong time of the year, or I just need to plant other stuff in here. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I need to move my beans into the, I don't know, up there somewhere where it's a little better. But what else is going on? I haven't touched on these in a while. So I've got these directly sown red jabo seeds that I put in like 3 years ago almost. And they have been slow to grow, but they're still here. I don't water them. I don't think about them. You know, but they're alive and they're growing. They were growing really, really slow at first, but they've actually doubled in size this year. So I wonder, like next year, like are they gonna double again, double again, double again? Who knows? But you know, you can dry farm them. That's essentially what I've been doing here. They are under an oak canopy. They're shaded most of the time. They get some afternoon sun, not for too long. So I think like the oak leaf litter being in the shade has helped them with that. So you can get away with, you know, just directly sowing jabo seeds. But it's probably going to be 15 years before you get a fruit off of them that way. So yeah. Same with the Suriname cherry here. It's pretty slow to grow on this hill. Actually, it might be more to do with like the slope of the hill. So I don't know. Got like a seedling orange tree right there. Looks like some leaf miner got to it. It's fine though. It'll come out of it. Got a Wampy. It's got some nice new growth coming out. It's been slow to get established, but yeah, I've been like putting stuff in front of it to kind of keep a lot of the nutrients from washing away. The achacha I put in the ground looks like it's been like a month, maybe 2-3 weeks since I put it in. This right here is probably sunburned when it was in the nursery. It kind of came like that, but it had some more fresh leaves and they've hardened off. You can kind of see like it's been a little bit sunny right here. They're a little burnt, but the achachas kind of look like that. There's some sunburn right there. But it's kind of cool that the guy, I think, had it in too sunny of a spot in his nursery, because that means it's pretty well acclimated to it. So I put it like kind of under this oak canopy a little bit to protect it from the frost, potential frost. And the leaf litter should be enough nutrients for it. So I might hit it with some stuff every now and then to help it out, but I don't think it's going to need it. Tried to grow beans here. Nothing popped up. Got some lemon guavas in the lemon guava. The Garcinia xanthochymus right here has pushed out some new leaves, which is cool. Let's see. Wait, we're at 30 minutes. I might end it here soon. My pup that I took from over there is finally starting to grow. I got a bunch of longevity spinach that planted itself in here. Got a long on in here that I grew from a, look at that. This is what you get when you let nature grow, it attacks you. These stickers suck. Nitrogen fixers though. Yeah, I got a long on in here. That's, is that? Yeah, it's just the new growth. So seedling long on. Don't know what variety it was from, but they tasted okay. I also have there's a pomelo in here somewhere too. Let's see. Is it still alive? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Oh, there she is. Let's see. The Lux Garcinia here pushed out a new set of leaves recently. It looks like it's fully hardened off. I don't see any suckers. I might put some coffee grounds down there. The Cha-Cha hasn't pushed out any new growth, but I suspect there's a wave of new growth coming. I tipped all my mango trees recently. I think I might have done that in the last video. Here's my in-ground Plinia oblongata. This is the sour Jaboticaba. I think this is probably superior to the Sabra for rootstock in Florida. I don't water this thing. It's actually pretty dried out looking right now. And it's not even droopy, but if we come over here and look at the Sabra, you'll see it was kind of droopy in the sun. But before we get over there, look at the Quaimuck. This thing is as tall as the house is now. Just about. What is that? It's probably about 10 feet tall now. Looks great. Actually, I think we're probably about to get some rain. Yeah, no signs of flowers. I'd say this tree is probably 3-4 years old, something like that. It's been in the ground for at least 2 years for me now. When I got it, it was about like this tall, where that like lichen is growing on the tree. So it's getting pretty thick. We'll try to keep it reachable. I might not let it get much taller than that, but we'll wait till summertime or springtime before I do any pruning on any more of these trees, because they need as much mass as they can get. Like these jackfruit over here, they're doing fantastic. Look at these guys. Just yeah, the one out front I think is like, it's definitely like 13 feet tall. I'm not gonna go out front in this video, but yeah, it's the one out front is as tall as the house. It's on its own though. This is like a cluster of directly sown seeds here. I only put one seed out front. Got to figure out what to do with that. I'm not sure if anyone has any recommendations. I'd definitely leave them as they are for now, but we'll have to see. So I definitely don't want, was that 6 jackfruits growing right up against the house. Plan is to keep them pruned back, but yeah, I gotta be careful stepping here because I know there's snakes. They're not poisonous, I just don't want to step on them. This Biden's alba in here is what these weeds are. But yeah, here's the Sabra. You can see, see we got aphid issues on the Sabra out here even, but it'll be fine. Once the growth hardens off, they're kind of immune to them, but they like the new growth. You can see the new growth on the Sabra is like really droopy compared to the oblongata. We've got to pull these suckers off of the finger lime here. I don't want them to be face height, because that's how you get thorns in your eye. I'm trying to prevent that. That's why I pruned it this way. Look at this. It really wants to just sucker out like a bush. We don't want any of this nonsense. I think it was also causing issues with like the black sooty mold from the whatever sucking insects were taking advantage of the situation. Having better airflow, I think, would, you can see how it's kind of black from that. Like any airflow helps with that, I believe. Yeah, we're just gonna try and train this one to be up high, and these things take forever to like ripen. Oh, well, we've got some green ones on the ground here. Look at that. They do kind of, I gotta stick my hand in a pile of thorns to get to the fruit, even though I pruned it. Okay, we got one. Look at that. That one's definitely ripe. But the idea is, like, you prune it below eyeball height, and you can kind of shake it. Let's see. All right. Oh, there's one. And you can just shake them off the tree. And I think, like, if they're ripe enough, they'll just fall. That's the theory. Because I don't want to have to put my hands in there. We already did a video about that. Then I guess I'll close it off over here. I'll chop this moringa back after winter. You can see how I've done it in the past. I didn't harvest any this year. I've just been too preoccupied with other stuff, but I could harvest all this right now and dry it and turn it into a powder and throw it in like pasta and stuff. It's pretty good. Here's the guaibiju. Definitely not variegated. That was definitely a deficiency of some sort. And here's the Suriname cherry. Haven't seen a single fruit on this thing this year. Seed grown lemon right there. And then this is the rainforest plum. It's getting pretty big. Lesser galangal ginger in there. I had a cacao in there, but it succumbed to. I still see like a twig of it. I'm hoping that it's like going to come back. I don't think it is. I need to try again. I don't think my soil was good enough for it when I planted it, but we'll end it right here with a couple of jabos. So here's a yellow jabo. You see how it looks like trash. It was a crazy looking wasp right there. It looks like trash from the sun, but you see all this new growth coming out. It looks good. It's like felt. Even the Cambuca is kind of like that. But it's got a lot of new growth coming out. You see all these little nodules. So it'll look pretty healthy. Look at that. New branches. No flowers yet, but maybe next year. And then we've got the Coronata Asu Cana right there. I've got a couple of them in pots as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been rambling for, what was it, 37 minutes? Holy crap. It's the longest video ever. There's a vanilla orchid growing up. Yeah, I'm gonna end it. I've been rambling for a while, and I hope everyone's having a good one. And if you stuck through the whole thing, I appreciate it. If you didn't stick through the whole thing, I don't blame you. But yeah, thanks for watching.